Okay, welcome to the September 5th Thursday chat. I had nobody, and now I have quite a lengthy list of people to make various announcements. We'll start with Sharon Gouveia.
Hi, everyone. Just a reminder that bingo is coming back again this coming Saturday, September 7th at 2 o'clock in Great Meadow Hall. There will be prizes, food, and a lot of fun. So please plan on coming down to the Great Meadow Hall this coming Saturday at 2 o'clock. Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks. And Peter Halfa.
Hi, everybody. As everybody's aware, we had been soliciting letters of interest for the dining committee over the last several months. Over this last month, we've reviewed all those letters. They were all due in August 9th. So over the last month, all the committee members reviewed all the letters. And yesterday at our meeting, we had a vote by secret ballot. And after several iterations of that vote, we have 4 new members, and they are Tom Jacoby, Sid Josephi, Bob Mesnick, and Ellen Ruffner. For the 12 others who sent in letters, you should have. For the 12 others who sent in letters, you should have received an email from me, but I just got a response from somebody that they never received it. So please be patient if you haven't received it. The 16 solicitations that we got were all very good. It was very difficult for the committee to decide on 4 out of 16. So for those of you who are not successful, we thank you very much for your interest in the committee. And, hopefully you'll try again next year. At the same time, I would like to thank Paul Hardiman, Peter Shapiro, Linda Weinstein, and myself. We have completed our 3-year term in the dining committee, which when we started was the food committee. And I would like to thank them for the work that we've done together. But in addition, I'd like to thank Judy Brown, Maya Fine, Barbara Goldstein, Bob Orkand, and Michael Ross for their collaboration in the committee and the way we all work together effortlessly and with the dining team, which I'll talk about in a second. What I didn't mention is that also Michael Ross was selected as the new chairperson for the 2025 season. Now, I'd like to particularly thank Josh and Eileen and Patrick as the key people that the committee worked with, and I in particular worked with when the committee wasn't working. These are very hard-working people, and they've accomplished an awful lot in the last several years now in terms of the new menu for Centros, of which we've seen now 5 different times, the new menu for Nosh, and the total reimagining of Nosh. In that period, you have to remember that both Eileen and Patrick were elevated, and so to new positions that right in the midst of all of this they assumed. And it was an effortless transition. So thank you very much, Josh, Eileen, and Patrick. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, Peter. Betty Shapiro.
Oh, hi, everyone. Keeping with the food theme, I just want to remind everybody that it's not too late to contribute to the collection for potato latke mix for the kosher food pantry for Rosh Hashanah. There's still room in the container outside of Nosh, and I'm still extending the offer for people to order online and have it sent to me if you're not on campus, and I'll make sure that it goes along with all the rest of the
somehow when you're.
potato latke mixes that are going to be distributed for the hundreds of families that rely on them for their holiday meal. Thank you for those who already have contributed, and thank you to those who will have yet to contribute.
Okay, thanks, Betty. Dorit Senior. You have to unmute, Dorit.
Is dealing with the history of Dedham and Newbridge. This first presentation will be led by the director.
So,
and-
Dorit, we
Beg your
weren't
pardon?
hearing you. Dorit, go back to the beginning. You were muted.
I was muted, sorry, okay, thank you. I just want to remind you all that next Wednesday, September the 11th, in the afternoon from 2 to 3 in Great Meadow Hall, we will all be treated to the first of two fascinating presentations dealing with both the history of Dedham and Newbridge. The first presentation will be led by the director and the archivist of the Dedham and Archive Museum. We will learn about the origin of the land on which Newbridge was found. It goes all the way back to the 1600s, and also explore the fascinating history of the area and of the town. Really not to be missed, because I think it's a very, very wonderful opportunity for people to really learn and understand the area that we live in. So please do come. Thank you.
Thank you. Naomi Webb. Unmute, Naomi.
I wasn't muted though.
You're muted. I'll unmute you, Naomi.
I'm right here.
Okay, go ahead, now speak.
Okay. I'd like to announce, of course, that the quilters are back from their summer rest, and we're welcoming all new people that are interested in quilting, and a very pleasant morning. We meet at 10 o'clock Tuesday mornings in the art room. Everybody is welcome, no matter what level you think you are. That's it.
Thank you. And Jessica Coleman.
Hi, Jeff. I just wanted to give a quick update. 2 weeks ago, I spoke about that we would be having a flu clinic here on campus, and we will. But in the meantime, the CDC recommended and came out with a new COVID booster. So we are currently working with Dedham Pharmacy to try to make it so we can have the high dose recommended flu vaccine at the same time that we could have the COVID booster available. Right now, Dedham Pharmacy, that is, does not have many boosters. And so we are kind of waiting for them for a timeline. I will say if the timeline ends up being too long, then we'll probably, unfortunately, have to do the flu clinic one day and then a booster clinic another day after it becomes available. But there will be more information to come, and I'll communicate as soon as we know and as soon as we hear back from Dedham Pharmacy. But I am getting some phone calls, so I just wanted to jump on and just give a little update, which is that we're still kind of in the waiting zone. That's it, Jerry.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank
Rabbi Judy.
Hello, everybody. I have one short announcement, and that is amongst the mail that you get, you must have received yesterday, on Tuesday, a blue sheet with the sign-up form for the high holidays at Congregation Newbridge right here on campus. So please, would you fill in your form? We would really like to know that information sooner than later. So thanks very much. Looking forward to celebrating the holiday with you. It's exactly a month from now.
Thank you. And now Josh. Josh.
Hi, Jerry. Thank you. I'm actually going to let Eileen go first with announcements, and then I'll go and I'm going to share my screen for a few minutes. So I'll let Eileen start today.
Hi, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. I have just two things going on. This Sunday, in honor of Grandparents' Day, we have a brunch up in Centro. There's still a few spots available if anyone is interested. You're welcome to bring family as well, and we might have a bit of music there as well, just to celebrate the grandparents around. So if you are interested, there's still a few spots available. Please contact the host stand up in Central. And then after that, on September 16th, we have our wind down. We are going on safari. We're going to Kenya, and we have a special guest coming. So I hope to see you all there. And that is on Monday, September 16th at 4 p.m. in Great Meadow Hall. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. It's great to have you back on the Zoom and back on campus after a well-deserved trip back home. So it's great to have you back. Thank you, everybody. I just want to thank everyone for who attended our end of summer clam bake on Labor Day Monday in Centro. It was great to see nearly 170 people throughout the course of the 4 to 7 p.m. And overall, the feedback was very positive. So I just wanted to thank everyone. The staff seemed to have a very good time. The residents had a great time. So thank you for joining us on Monday. Speaking of end of summer, I do want to remind residents that around this time each year, as you may know, we have a lot of students returning back to school. It is a great dynamic that we have these young people that are here through around their school schedules in the summer, during holidays. They are very appreciative of all that the residents do to support them, whether it's contributing to the scholarship fund or the appreciation fund. But at this time, as we go through a transition, I will say that we are in a better position than we've been in previous years. You may remember last year we had to slow down reservations, occasionally close sections. And as of right now, we're not in that position, which is great. But we are in that transition where many students return to school and we're trying to backfill their openings. So I ask that everyone be mindful of that and maybe just a little extra patience during this time. If service is waning just a little bit, we've got a lot of support. You'll see team members and managers and supervisors supporting the team, even taking tables. And this, remember, is not just a Centro, it's also Nosh, and it's also Meadowview in assisted living. All three of those restaurants utilize students in multiple capacities, so we don't have as much of opportunity to just move people around. So again, the request for a little bit of extra patience and understanding, and for that in advance, I thank you. And I want to talk just a little bit about the Holy Days communication as it pertains to dining. We had told the community that tomorrow in the weekly packet, actually separate, but on the Friday, you will be getting a separate packet that includes general information, timeline, menus, and order form for the High Holy Days in October. For those of you that don't receive the paper version of the packet, I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to share my screen and show you on the dining website where you can get the same information that every resident who does get the paper packet at the click of a button. A couple of things I just want to mention. For the Centro reservations on the High Holy Days, you won't be able to make online reservations that far in advance. So you'll see in the guidelines that if you're looking to dine in Centro on any of the Holy Days, you will have to either call or make the reservation in person. And all these reservations open up starting this Monday, September 6th. We are also, as in the past, going to put an order online option for the pre-orders. Again, these will be in the guidelines. And on next Thursday's Zoom call, I'm hoping Jerry will allow me to demonstrate how you can order for the pre-order communal dinners in Great Meadow Hall using the dining website. And then real quick, as I said, I'm just going to briefly share my screen. Can everybody see my screen, Jerry?
Yes, now they can.
Okay, so I do recommend, if possible, instead of going through Touchtown, which I understand is very convenient, but sometimes I have spoken to some of the community that Touchtown sporadically can have connectivity issues. So I went through the dining website, nbocdine.org, which you can see in my browser, and that takes me right to the dining website. And the information for High Holy Days is in 2 locations. It's here as a quick reference button, and it's also down here, click here for the High Holy Day dining packet. And if I click on it, the first page of the packet, again, this will be going out in paper form for those of you that still receive the paper form, is basically general information. We encourage you to reach out to Chelsea or myself if you have any questions that aren't answered or are having any issues. All of the dining team members will have this information, but Chelsea and I are dedicating ourselves to helping support any residents that have questions about these days. And then as you scroll through, you'll see the timeline. Then it'll go into menus and order forms. I'm not going to go through it in detail here because all of the community will have access to this information. And Jerry, thank you for the time, and I'm happy to answer any initial questions.
Any questions of Josh? Yes, go ahead, Charlie Small.
Hi, Josh. This is not really related to the high holidays, but reservation systems. And I know you've had discussions recently about a new reservation system coming in. And I know a number of us have talked to you recently about the fact that sometimes reservations seem to disappear without us knowing it or us being notified. So I'm just wondering if you can comment on that. Do you know what's happening? Why some reservations are disappearing? And if not, when do you expect a new system? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charlie. We have been unhappy with the Easy Table for quite some time, and I do apologize for the length of time. It's been going through some, because it requires the signing of a contract, there are some hoops that we've had to jump through. I'm happy to report we are very close to the finishing line. I got the final response from the new software company that we plan to utilize, that the revisions and suggestions to the contract has been made. I'm waiting for final approval to sign that. The good thing is, once I have that approval, this software has a very short turnaround time. There's not a lot of hardware that's needed. It's cloud and web-based. We can use our existing hardware. So, we actually presented some of this information to the dining committee. They also raised the question of testing it out for the community prior to the switchover. Charlie, I can't answer the other questions with Easy Table, why reservations sometimes just drop. I will recommend, it would be helpful when it happens if someone can email me, because we can look in and see, hopefully, where the reservation and when was changed, so we can try to identify any patterns. So if it happens to you, if you can tell me the time and date you got the cancellation notice, if you didn't make it yourself, that would be helpful. But hopefully this was moot. I hate to commit to dates, Charlie, because there can be unanticipated delays, but I'm definitely shooting for October is the goal, if everything goes well with the final signing of the contract.
Thank you, Josh. I hope it makes it by October 2025.
I was talking about this October, Charlie, but thank you.
No, but thank you.
Sharon Govea.
Josh, I just have a quick question because I'm confused. You went quickly down the scrolling of the high holidays. I'm just wondering, are all of the high holiday dinners being in Centro, Nosh, and Great Meadow Hall? And for those of us who do not celebrate the high holidays, is there a venue where we can eat?
Well, yes, Sharon. I mean, Centro will be open all of those days, and will be, you'll be able to make a reservation and won't have to pre-order. We're just including those timelines, but Centro will be, for all intents and purposes, open with normal. What we usually do is we'll do features that, maybe the full dinner menu or the buffet will be available. So let's take, for instance, the first 2 nights of Rosh Hashanah, nights 1 and nights 2, October 2nd and 3rd in Great Meadow Hall. That's a communal pre-order kosher dinner, but Centro will be open for a dinner buffet on those nights, and you'll be able to make a reservation, and it will be, kind of for all intents and purposes, a normal operation.
Okay, thank you.
Does that answer your question, Sharon?
I think so. I'll wait and look at the information when it comes out, but yes, that did. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Any other questions of Josh?
I see Marilyn Stone's hand up, Jerry.
Okay, go ahead, Marilyn.
Hi, Josh. I'm having trouble with making reservations. I go to the site where it says, where you just showed all of the different places I could get the menu and I can get the reservations. I go to Nush and I make my reservation. In some way or other, that is not going through. Sometimes it does. I get a reaction, I get a confirmation, and I have to bring it down with me to show them that I really did make a reservation. Do you know anything about that?
I think we should sidebar, Marilyn. I know there was one instance where you weren't getting confirmations, and I know why. It was going to someone else because of a switch that had happened. But if you're having trouble making reservations going through the dining website, Marilyn, I'd love to help you on a one-on-one, and I can
Okay.
set aside some time. If you can bring down your device, or I can come up to you if you're doing it from a laptop. And it's much easier if you show me what's happening for me to try to troubleshoot. And I'm happy to do that sooner than later.
Well, I don't know that until I go there. I just assume when I get the confirmation, it's when I go to Nush for my reservation. They
So,
don't have
okay,
it.
I misunderstood. You're getting a confirmation.
Yes.
And then you're going down and it's disappeared. So I'm hearing, and I think that's kind of what Charlie was saying. And one of the dining committee members, I believe it was Bob, brought that up. I'm just hearing about these recent instances. So as I asked Charlie, when that happens, please send me the email. I need to try to identify patterns of when this is happening to try to troubleshoot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm very sorry for the frustration this is causing. I'll dig in.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Betty Shapiro.
Yeah, Josh, today I went online to order my dinner, and the menu, it's a good thing that I had a clear mind, because what came up on the site was last week's menu. One would think that when you turn it on, it's going to be current, but you had to scroll down to get to this week's menu. I didn't even know if you were aware of that.
Yeah, are you talking about the Nosh weekly specials, Betty?
To order from Nosh.
The
Oh,
online.
I guess it was. Yes, you're right.
The Nosh weekly specials are twofold, and here's why. The Nosh weekly specials, we update the website on Fridays, but we still have Nosh specials on Saturday, the soup and stuff. So the top page will always be the week you're in, and then the bottom page should be the following week. And then as we update it on the Friday, that will switch. So you'll always have the current week and the next week, Betty. So you are correct. The Nosh weekly specials sometimes overlap a little bit in dates.
Okay, I'll be more attentive. Thank you. Now that I know that that's the way it works.
Yep. Thank you, Betty. Yep.
Carol Klingon.
I just want to say that I complained bitterly and repeatedly to Josh about not being able to get my orders to be picked up all the time. It would just, nothing would happen. And he told me to go on to the NBOC Dine site. And since then, I haven't had one problem. It's much more reliable.
Thank you, Carol. Yeah, I can't, again, there are sometimes Touchtown has connectivity issues. Carol, thank you so much. And I recommend anybody can reach out to me, but definitely try going to the website through the direct browser. Thank you, Carol.
Okay, anybody else? I see none. We'll move on. Thank you, Josh. We'll move on to Matt Hollingshead.
Thank you, Jerry. Hello, everyone. For starters, I want to thank Peter Halfon publicly for all the work that he's done on the dining committee. He's put in countless hours, many, many phone calls, lots of emails, and he's always ready to tackle it with a positive attitude. And he's been, a great partner to us in the dining team. He's pushed on us when we needed to be pushed on. He's done a great job bringing the residents' comments and concerns to the forefront, but he doesn't just leave it at that. He's part of the solutions and figuring out how we can move forward together as a community. So Peter, sincerely grateful and thank you for your commitment and dedication to our community. It means a great deal. So moving on, I think everybody at this point knows that we had quite a tumultuous week when it comes to heating and cooling, but thank goodness Mother Nature was phenomenal and provided us with beautiful 70-degree days. We lost the heating and cooling in the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, half of the 5,000 building. And this was related to some bolts that are in the geothermal piping system that probably weren't stainless steel and rotted out over time and caused a pretty massive leak. And with that, our engineering team just shined unlike anything I've ever seen. Fernando, Gary, and Bernie were here absolutely nonstop for days on end, working on this project in a vault underground to get us back online. It took some incredible ingenuity to fasten a repair that would work and get our system back online, and they did so, and I'm really appreciative. And in the meantime, we'll be working on a permanent repair, and that permanent repair, fortunately, should not impact any of the systems as we move forward. In discovering this, we've also analyzed all of the other pipes around the geothermal system, and some of the bolts will need to be replaced, while others are in good shape. So although unfortunate, it's going to allow us the opportunity to be ahead of this now that we know that this is a problem. This problem should never really happened because these bolts should last a very, very, very long time. So this could have been a value engineering thing when they put the system in. This could have been faulty materials, not quite sure what it was. And at this point, it doesn't really matter what it was. What matters is that going forward, we're able to identify and correct and move on. And so Fernando and his team have a tremendous plan to move forward. So thank you all for your patience. I know it's pretty frustrating when, you go turn on an air conditioner and it doesn't work, or for that matter, heat. So we really appreciate the support. And then, of course, they had to go into every single apartment and reset the heat pump units and the cooling units, as well as the thermostats. So took a lot of patience from the community as a whole. So I want to thank everybody all together collectively. Very much appreciated. Very challenging. And of course, it happened on an HSL holiday. So thank you again. I got wind today from the IT department that on September 17th, they're going to be replacing the phone system. Now, this won't, I believe this won't impact you in your apartments. I believe it has to do with the wiring that comes off the street onto the campus. I don't have any more information than that. I have a meeting set up for Monday, but I just wanted to put it out there as a teaser that as I learn more, I will share. However, I do anticipate that this will be fairly minimal impact because I believe it's about the lines that come in the street. And the lines that come in the street, I guess the software and all the stuff that goes with it is at end of life. And so they're updating the system to make sure that we're good for X amount of years to go. So that one came up. On the other fun facilities front, we had the irrigation company out here yet again today, trying to figure out what's going on with the cottage irrigation. They finally have figured it out. There's a leak underground in the assisted living parking lot. So we're going to be excavating part of the parking lot, a corner of it, and going in and repairing the leak. So I would make a joke about when it rains, it pours, but this isn't funny. So, but we're going to get that project going as soon as possible. And again, a big thank you to the facilities team. And then another little secret thing that happened this week is even when we were dealing with the no heat and no hot water, the chillers went down. So the dining team had to scramble and replace all the food that we had here on campus. And they did an incredible job flawlessly doing it so nobody felt the pain during that whole process. So it's been quite a week. I mean, it really has. It's been a challenging week, but every time it feels like another thing happens and you feel exhausted from it, you look around and you see the incredible people around you just doing amazing work and everything they possibly can to take care of this community and each other. And I walk away with just a phenomenal sense of gratitude. And I hope you all do as well, because it's been a challenging week, but they certainly proved that they rise to the top when the challenges arise. So that's incredible. And then just a short COVID update. We have 3 cases here on campus right now. This community has done a phenomenal job taking this risk seriously and isolating when sick, or if having exposures, wearing masks in the community and testing after day 5. And really, I attribute our success to all of you, because no matter what I say or what we do, the outcome of it is all based on our behaviors. And so 3 cases right now, which I consider to be a great success compared to what's happening in the community at large outside of the walls of Newbridge. And keep doing what you're doing because it's working. And then lastly, I just want to acknowledge we had, some conversation last week on the Zoom chat around pre-seeding and NOSH. And I walked away from that conversation not necessarily feeling great. I really didn't. I felt like for the first time in a while as a community, we weren't all on the same page. And I had some time to reflect, and I had some time to connect with the community as well as our dining team and talk through a lot of it. And the commitment I have from the culinary team is that they're working on trying to find a solution to meet everybody's needs. It may not be possible. It may be possible, but I do have a serious commitment from that team. And I want you all to know that the feedback that was given to us was absolutely heard, and we'll do everything in our power to deliver and make sure this is a great community for you. And so with that, Jerry, I'd be happy to take any questions.
Hey, you see anybody? David?
Marilyn has her hand up.
Marilyn Stone. Marilyn, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Matt, when I listened to you, I thought that we were sort of deciding that it's a big brush that we're all getting stuck with. I think if we know what table we have to go to, we can sit down and be told that we can't order yet because they're not starting yet. And I don't think that anyone should have to say, I want it now. I don't think that many members would be that aggravating and that insistent on being waited on now. I think that would help quite a bit. When they posted the tables, we all knew where we were going, and and part of it was that they weren't assigning us tables until 5:30. And we had been there since 5:15 because we didn't want to be late. I think it has to be a couple of things that have to change. And I would give the members a chance to sit down early and behave.
Thank you, Marilyn.
You're
It's
welcome.
helpful to hear.
Marlene Yesley, did you have your hand up?
Anybody else? Faye?
Not on this.
No? Second page?
Yeah, I'm trying to do the second page because I know you're looking at the first page and I don't see anybody.
So I want to remind people again that if you use the raise hand feature, it brings you right up to the first page, right in our upper left-hand corner, and we won't miss you. Otherwise, we're looking at 2 pages and may miss somebody. All right, unless we've missed somebody, you can holler out. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Gary, boy, did I underestimate it this time.
Yeah,
Wow.
95 people are coming back.
Yeah. Well, they must be back from vacation. Okay. Have a good one.
As long as you weren't estimating 35.
Jerry, this is Phyllis.
Yeah.
Where is the place that you have the yellow hand? Where do I get that?
You go down to the bottom where it says, well, stop, wait a minute, where are we? More. It's interesting now.
You know, it used to be reactions, but
yeah.
now it's a little different.
It's
It says
react.
recognize hand gestures under reactions.
If you go to React, and on mine now, it's right next to chat.
Yeah. Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
Try it, Phyllis, give it a try to try it.
Let's see how it works.
No, that's the wrong gesture.
No, it's the very bottom. There's a bunch of 2 lines of stuff, and at the very bottom it says raise hand. Linda did it.
You did it. She did it.
I just did it.
She
Okay.
did it.
Thank you.
Anybody else wants to try it?
Yeah.
Try it.
It makes a big difference.
Yes,
because
it does.
Otherwise, we can easily miss you once we get over 45 people who are on the first page.
Right.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye-bye.